Howdy. Today we're doing the Tenet Agendus video. Finally, I finally got the progenitor I wanted to actually not have it suck. So that's pretty cool, I guess. I've been waiting quite a long time to do this. I actually got it like 5 days ago, and I even recorded a video, but then I realized my mic was muted, so I was like, damn it, and then I just didn't post something because I was too lazy to re-record it. But here we are. I also am in a new place, the Sanctum Simulacra. Very snazzy. I finally bothered to actually go and grab it from Lloyd by buying it, because it only takes like 75 of the weird rogue necromech material. Now the Tenet Agendus is a sword and shield, a Tenet sword and shield that can only be acquired from Ergo Glass for 40 corrupted hollow keys, and the progenitor is random what element and percentage it is. It changes every 3 days, I believe. Right now we have a 60% magnetic bonus. I personally think the best options are either magnetic or electric. Electric if you want pure damage, and magnetic if you want it to be able to shred overguard more effectively. And I prefer magnetic because being able to shred overguard is very, very nice. It also makes it so I can use it as more of just an overguard shredder rather than even just spamming as a normal melee. So, that works. And I'll show a build for that in a bit. Now, it's a pretty decent statted sword and shield. 0.917 attack speed, not great. 2.6 range, basic, 6% fall off, 24% crit chance, 2.0 multiplier, 28% status, 120 impact, and 140 electric for a total of 260 damage, and that's not counting the progenitor bonus. Now, what makes it so fancy is that the heavy attack basically shoots an arc of plasmor shot. It's got 40 meters of range, and it does full damage up to 20 meters, I think? It's got a pretty hefty amount of damage on it, the scaler for it too. It's very, very big PP damage. And if they are within 20 meters, it also has the guaranteed impact proc. Alongside what other elements you end up proccing due to your status chance. And that's the main thing we want to use it for, is this fancy Arc of Plasmor shot. It does have infinite body punch through, but it also has damage fall off going up to the end of the 40 meters. Though there is a way to get around that, which I'll end up showing near the end of the video. Now, let us go ahead and show the first build. Now, I do have a Riven, but I'm going to be taking it off for this. But Rivens are usable. It has a dispo of 2, so, not incredible Rivens, but not the worst Rivens ever. The one I have is pretty decent. But without this, you can just replace it with something else. Like, we can take this off, and instead I would put on Sacrificial Steel, which gives actually very similar crit chance to my Riven, apparently. Oh, no, significantly more. I don't know why the stat looked like it. Wait. I don't know. Oh, it's because I had switched from configuration C. I was like, something seems off here. Anyways, we have 11th Storm. I know a lot of people don't like the stance, but I don't have any other ones, and I do like it personally. Sorry, I keep yawning. I did not sleep well. Discipline's Merit for free Tennokai attacks. Prime Reach so that we get more range and it's easier to build up our combo by hitting more enemies. Melee Elementalist so we have faster heavy attack wind-up speed and a multiplicative damage buff to our status effects. Amalgam Organ Shatter for crit damage and more heavy attack wind-up speed. Blood Rush for crit chance, Prime Pressure Point for melee damage, Weeping Wounds for status chance, Shocking Touch for more electric damage, and Electric Weighting, and then Sacrificial Steel for more crit chance. You will get higher damage, technically, with Condition Overload, but that's if there's already statuses on the enemy. I just feel like the damage is more consistent with Prime Pressure Point if you're not already applying some statuses from your companion or something. It's entirely up to you. I just personally prefer Prime Pressure Point. But again, the damage will be higher with Condition Overload. And this is additive. I thought it was multiplicative a while ago, but apparently no, it's actually additive, sad face, if only. Melee influence, of course, because it's broken, and I mean, we've already got electric on the weapon anyways at base, so we might as well go with melee influence. So this is a pretty standard build. I only have Epitaph here for secondary dexterity, so that it's not annoying. No companion, nothing on our Warframe affecting our damage. And these enemies are level 205. Oh, 220 levels higher than what I normally have in the videos because I can level them up higher here. Now, we have our combo built up now, and we have melee influence, so it can pretty easily destroy a group of enemies like that. No issue. It does massive chunga-badunga damage. And that's why I like it so much. It's very entertaining and it does humongous damage. Look at that. Just spreads it all over the place. It's always, of course, going to do better if you actually have your combo built up all the way. 8x. I feel like this might be able to kill in one shot. Oh, that was a slam attack by accident, but it still killed them all. Yeah, you can even do slam attacks with it if you want. I mean, kind of defeats the purpose of using this weapon specifically, but that is an option. Now, you could run blast electric on this, and that's what I had in the past. I used to have a heat progenitor, but I don't think blast is worth using on it because you don't get enough blast procs to consistently explode when you do just a heavy attack. So I think pure electric is much better and much more consistent for dealing damage. So if you wanted to go blast, you could. So like we would replace Shocking Touch with Vicious Frost. And then, this is a rough one on what else we would get rid of. I guess we would have to give up a bunch of crit chance. Because you don't realistically want to get rid of Prime Reach. That's just going to make your life 1,000 times more difficult without it. So I guess we would have to get rid of Sacrificial Steel and put on Volcanic Edge. So now we have Magnetic Electric Blast. And of course it would be higher if we didn't have Magnetic here. But here, I guess I'll just switch to Condition Overload. That way we have more statuses since we have several different status procs on to put on the enemies. Simulate. But you'll see the normal attacks are still going to be fine and proc plenty of blast. It's never the normal attacks that have the issue, but this isn't made to be spamming normal attacks. So if I come back down here and I reset these guys and I just do a heavy attack, you can see that it was still mostly the electric procs that did the majority of the damage there. Like the blast helped, but we still didn't even kill them all because it doesn't have enough hits in the one heavy attack to consistently get all the blast procs to make them all explode. So I just don't think it's really worth running blast on this weapon. There are much better weapons to use blast on than this. So other than that, the build I was talking about earlier, where you use it just for shredding Overguard, would be something like this. So we need magnetic here, of course, so you want a magnetic progenitor. We have Killing Blow, this is where our base damage is coming from, plus heavy attack wind-up speed, melee elementalist, so we get more, electric DOT damage and heavy attack wind-up speed. Amalgam Ordering Shower for crit damage and heavy attack wind-up speed. Sacrificial Steel for crit chance, that's doubled on the heavy attack. Dispatch Overdrive, so that we can get movement speed from doing a heavy attack. Condition Overload for more damage. Really, though, I think it might be better to go with Prime Pressure Point here, since this is definitely meaning just to do like a couple attacks. Quickening, because attack speed does actually affect how fast you can spam your heavy attacks in a row, and I'll show that in a second. Corrupt Charge for initial combo, and Voltaic Strike for status chance and more electricity and melee influence to spread the statuses. So if I heavy attack like this with quickening, you can see it's pretty fast. But if I take quickening off, and now I show it, you can see it's quite a bit slower. So attack speed does affect how fast you can do follow-up heavy attacks. So I definitely recommend having quickening or something else on for attack speed here. And the sole purpose of this build is to just get melee influence to proc and proc magnetic and just spread it around so that all the enemies have magnetic to shred Overguard. There we go. Everything's got magnetic on it now. And it still does a fairly decent amount of damage. Like, you could kill stuff with this. It's not meant to kill stuff, but you can kill stuff with it. This is just for, like, if I'm running Void Cascade and I just need something to make it easier to shred Overguard, I can just slap this on. If I act, there we go. If you get unlucky with magnetic procs, it can be a pain in the ass. But if you aren't absolutely destroyed by having horrible RNG with magnetic procs, it's very nice to spread around, because you only need one magnetic proc for a huge chunk of bonus damage to Overguard. The first proc is 100% bonus damage to Overguard, and every subsequent proc is another 25%. So just one magnetic proc spreading around everything doubles the damage done to Overguard, which is very, very nice to have, or at least if you ask me it is. Now, we'll actually just stay with this build, because this isn't even meant to kill, but because it does less damage, it'll be easy to show. With the damage fall off that occurs past the 20 meters, you can bypass it with Zephyr. Where is Zephyr? Here we go. Zephyr's tornadoes, if you hit them, it will absorb the full damage, regardless of where the range is. So this weapon pairs extremely well with Zephyr. This is a pretty wonky build, but don't worry about it. All we care about here is that we can cast Zephyr's tornadoes. That's all that matters. Simulate. Oh, whoa. Pull them all in. Dang, that one dude's just going to be sitting over there. And then look at that. Other than this one guy off to the left, they all got pulverized. Very effective. Very big damage. Tenet Agendus is an amazing weapon to pair with Zephyr if you want some chunky damage. Here, let's do it again. Try to get them all in one spot. There we go. That's what I wanted. They just get pulverized. Absolutely destroyed. Not that that's anything new for Zephyr, because Zephyr's actually pretty freaking insane, but, you know, still pretty interesting. That's mostly it for the weapon. There's not a lot else you can do with it. The Riven does increase the damage, sort of, but it's not going to be that big of a difference, so I don't think I need to show it with the Riven. It's just a very fun sword and shield. Looks cool. I like that it's like a hammer thing on the left. And it's got that snazzy arc of plasmor shot. I like it quite a lot. One of my favorite melee weapons in the game, without a doubt. If you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe. Adios.